Yo, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
Now, the episode we put out last week did pretty well. I think you guys seem to enjoy it. The conversation about Salah and Slot.
Topical.
Yeah, when I was editing it felt like we could have been working for the Athletic. the way we dissect
the analysis.
Yeah, this could be the Athletic pod. But yeah, looks like Slot's kind of, however you want to look at it. Some people might look at it, Slot's put his foot down and so Salah's caved and come in, but there's been no public apology. So
I just saw Slots post match comments about how it's so obvious what Salah wants, and
yeah,
this is all in the past. Stays behind closed doors. But that's fine because he's going to AFCON.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens when he comes back.
I mean, if I was the gaffer, I'd be demanding a public apology, because fair enough, Mo Salah's maybe apologized to Slot behind closed doors, but he's put him on blast publicly.
Did Ten Hag demand a public apology?
Probably.
I think there's only everyone else, there's only a handful of guys you can't demand a public apology, just in case they don't do it. But that's the thing. But if you demand it and it doesn't happen, what position are you in?
But if the Liverpool manager was Zinedine Zidane or Carlo Ancelotti,
no, and that's why football's funny, because I agree.
I'm not going to let you just
if
put
it was
me
a
on blast
Zizou,
publicly.
if it was a Carlo, if it was even if Gerrard was the manager, yeah, somehow some of these great ex-players, you get the double edge.
Yeah.
You get the double edge decision. You get the public or you get to demand the public apology, and you don't get the fans to fall out with you as well. You get both because you're a legend,
and the player's probably going to do it.
Yeah,
there's an aura.
Yeah. If Zidane says I want a public apology,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm publicly apologizing
to any Madrid player. Mbappe, Vinny, Jude.
I'm publicly apologizing.
To be fair, Alonso's probably got that aura.
Yeah.
Alonso, but yeah, the sticky one for Alonso. We might get there later on in the show. But look, please do like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on what we're talking about today. If there's any podcast you want to see, any topics that you want us to cover, let us know in the comments as well. And look, we're in the lead up to Christmas with a lot of festive football. It's a good time of the year. The fixtures come thick and fast. We've got Carabao Cup again this week. Except for Arsenal have to play next week because Palace play Conference League.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so our game's actually next week, but everyone else plays this week. And Palace play Thursday, Saturday, you know.
Oh, that's nasty.
Conference League Thursday, Prem Saturday, and then us on Tuesday.
Throw that one away.
So at least we have a week off. Which, we'll get to the Arsenal section. I think is very much needed. But before we get to the Arsenal section, it's only right that we show this game the respect that it deserves. I'm not actually sure if anybody on any other podcast has spoken about this game first at the top of the show, but we're going to do that because the Wear Tyne derby, I can't lie, I made my plans around this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's a real football fan right there.
It was my cousin's birthday, and it was like, oh, should we go out for lunch? And I was like, if we go for lunch, we need to go 11:30, 12.
So a brunch, breakfast.
Yeah. Be back by 1:30, 1:45. I can sit down, take in the atmosphere, or we go for dinner.
Yeah.
Brentford Leeds, I can
miss that one. I can miss that one.
I had to make my plans around this game for good reason. It's the first time we've seen this derby in 10 years. I think nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. Obviously there was an FA Cup fixture 2 years ago. Red and white versus black and white. Black Cats versus the Magpies. Mackhams versus all these. And
Tyne Wear.
Yeah, Tyne Wear Tyne. They change it. I think
is it?
Yeah, because I think the Tyne is Newcastle. I should get this right.
There was a video that I didn't watch, but there was a video on YouTube that was 6 minutes explaining this, and I was like, oh, maybe I should get this in before the game. But I was like,
yeah. I mean, you could call it the Tyne Wear or the Wear Tyne derby. But because I think Tyneside is Newcastle, I think Wearside is Sunderland.
So that's why they.
I think that's how it is. Hopefully, I've got that.
What
right.
I remember about this fixture, funnily enough, is the Defoe goal.
Yeah, the volley.
Yeah. That one stands out in my mind.
That was big time. Even they were saying the last time Newcastle won this fixture, Ryan Taylor scored a free kick.
Oh,
and I kind of remember that free kick from 2011.
It was throwback.
But yeah, look, this game lived up to expectation. I didn't expect there to be goals flying.
Yeah.
I know what these two teams are
Pretty
about.
passages of play.
You know what I'm saying? As Arsenal fans, we've been to St. James's Park multiple times, but we've also been there this year. And we've already been to the Stadium of Light. So I very much know what Newcastle were trying to be on, and I very much know what Sunderland, especially at the Stadium of Light, are trying to be on. Now, in terms of the game, I'll say this, Newcastle got Newcastled. I mean that in the nicest possible way to Sunderland fans at Sunderland. All credit to Sunderland, because we show Newcastle a lot of respect on this show for what they do at St. James's Park in particular. So when I say the Newcastle got Newcastled, I mean all the positive stuff of big tackles, dodgy decisions. Should Bobby have been sent off? Over the line, own goal, Walter, the atmosphere is hot and it's just a bit too much, and he doesn't know where to
100%, bro. It goes deeper than that.
Go to 5 at the back, keep it tight, hassle players on the ball. The Newcastle players had no time on the ball. A physical fight, and to come away from any game, and it just be unanimous that Newcastle got bullied. Is like wow.
And Newcastle can't even do the like long journey, get like so maybe slow off the coach coming all the way down to the South Coast. No. It's Derby Day.
Yeah, they said it's a dozen miles.
Exactly, right across the road. It's Derby Day. But I agree with your assessment, man. It felt very much as if they were playing at St. James's Park.
It was a big team at St. James's Park.
As you say, all the decisions, all of the large tackles, ref letting some go, not getting involved, not wanting to turn on the fans.
Yeah.
Like, even the goal itself, it obviously it's a Voltemade. It's a great finish.
Unbelievable finish.
Great finish from Voltemade. But if you're a Newcastle fan, you're like, it's a bit of a sloppy, unlucky, jing bang goal to concede. We've been there. We've been on the end of those, and you think, all right, we'll just have to get back into it to show some quality, and one of our quality players has to step up. And then you watch 70, another 60 minutes of
no spaces.
There's barely 3 passes played for your team in some sort of constructive manner before a Sunderland player is in their crash. I've been on the end. We've been on the end of those defeats too many times. I know exactly how that looks. Newcastle fans are praying that Voltemade or Gordon or Barnes or someone finally shows a bit of quality, but you huff and you puff and no one really gets going, and before you know it, there's 10 minutes left, and you're like, man, I'll just take a draw. Get me out of here.
Can we just get one?
Get me out of here with a 1-1, a penalty. And
the other thing as well is that you can, for big teams, obviously in the way that Newcastle get up for it, you can lose at St. James's Park, and Newcastle haven't really tested your goalkeeper. Once, we obviously won there this year, but outside of the Waltemade goal, I don't think Raya made a save.
It's like the one last year, the one that we lost last year, 1-0, where it's like there's just a bit of good ball in the box. Isak gets on a header and nothing much happens.
Raya doesn't make another save
for the rest of the game.
Ramsdale made maybe one save from Isidore that I can remember late on in the game after they were already 1-0 up, and Roof's, I don't think really had to make one. And somehow one team has scored and one team has lost because Waltemade has decided to put that in.
One thing I'll say I didn't expect was a clean sheet from Sunderland. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect there to be goals.
I did think if one team was going to win this game, it could be 1-0. That was the most likely scoreline.
I thought 2-1, 1-1. Sometimes I feel like you hype up some of these games and it has a draw written all over it. And I just didn't really expect Sunderland to keep a clean sheet for some reason. I thought there would be that, I thought the first 20 minutes was going to be just shock and awe. Shock and awe, balls bouncing just 24/7. And so for Newcastle not to get a goal or for Sunderland to keep a clean sheet, because I know they've been doing well at home. I know obviously they haven't lost a game at home. I know they've been keeping clean sheets at home, all this kind of stuff. But I've not been giving Sunderland enough credit because I'm always sort of, especially FPL wise, I'm always like, I think that's going to end this week, or this team is going to get...
I play Reynolds?
This team's going to get a goal. I'm not going to bring in Roofs because they've got Newcastle. They've got all these games in a row at home, and I'm like, they might win these games, but they're going to concede. But no, it seems as if it's like, not only are we winning these games, but there is a bit of a fortress. There is a bit of a fort here. Goals are hard to come by here. We played that. We played a good second half. We know that. But we get like it takes a Trossard sort of screamer.
You still look at the goal. Even Saka's goal.
It takes a Trossard sort of screamer. It takes a Declan Rice OP engine midfield overturn the ball.
Still, as of the time we're recording, middle of December, potentially the best 45 minutes we played. That second half at Sunderland.
And that's what it takes.
That's what it took.
That's what it takes, man.
And they never know when they're down and out. They never know when they're finished. They still come back. But look, I think a lot of that, like as much as Sunderland do their stuff defensively, credit to Regis Labrie and everyone. He's obviously down with the details. He knows what to do. And we'll come on to the Newcastle side in a bit, but I think Newcastle attacking wise made it so easy. But we'll get on to that, because the last point on Sunderland that I want to make is that in these highly strung, emotional derbies, you need someone who has the composure to get on the
He's been there before. He's been in too many highly strung emotional derbies.
Especially if you want to talk about Premier League.
Yeah.
He's played in countless. And I remember North London derbies at home. I can't really remember Granit Xhaka having a bad game.
Yeah. But I do remember early Xhaka in general, maybe not necessarily North London derbies, but in these like high pressure moments, I don't want to say losing his head, but letting the emotions sometimes get the best of him. Like this Granit Xhaka that we're getting right now is like the totality of all the years of experience, of all of the like leadership that he's brought along from his Arsenal days, from Leverkusen, from everything. Like it's all so visibly coming together, so succinctly coming together his whole career. Now he's in the leadership position, telling guys to chill, cool their heads, don't get a second yellow, don't make that challenge, don't go to the ball, walk away.
And it was almost what, 10 years since he joined Arsenal.
Like hearing Xhaka tell guys to walk away from this, don't get involved.
But that 100%, Xhaka was still liable in these big games to make a tackle.
But it's credit to him.
The top. But in terms of what he was still doing, like he could get too heated, but when we had possession, sometimes in those big games, players are afraid to make a mistake and lose the ball. And that can affect what obviously happens further down the pitch. So you need someone, especially for Sunderland, like you can't just, to be fair, maybe they can at the stadium, like just do hustle and bustle for 90 minutes. But it will help. Ideally, you can have someone who can put their foot on the ball. And Granit Xhaka
not lose it.
Exactly. And Granit Xhaka was doing that. He was playing the right passes, spreading it wide, just keeping things ticking when he needed to keep things ticking. And up against the Newcastle midfield that everyone likes to rave about, everyone likes to say has. And I'm a massive Bruno G fan. I think Bruno G is one of the top midfielders in the Premier League.
Big fan of Tonali as well.
Guys think that Tonali might be Paul Scholes. I want to hear what Paul Scholes has to say about Granit Xhaka now.
Exactly.
Right? Because lessons were taught. Lessons were taught. Granit Xhaka knew what to do. And they were saying even before the game, normally, I think Enzo Lefebvre was saying that normally Granit gives the team talk before the game and whatever. He said that Granit let Luke 09 do it. He's been at Sunderland for 9 years, and he was there last time. Newcastle. Enzo Lefebvre was saying Granit told him to do the team talk, and he was like, that helped because we know what it meant.
What this means.
Look, that's a leader, that's a captain, as you say, years of experience,
man. But it's so good to see, and I mean, it's directly translating to points for Sunderland at this stage of the season. Which is like. It's still vital for them. I still can't really get my head around the move from Xhaka to Sunderland. The captaincy and all of this kind of stuff. But man, like when you see those performances yesterday, as you say, against that Newcastle midfield, for me it begs questions around. And I know we're gonna come on to the Newcastle bit, but like how you can't prepare yourself that much for a Granit Xhaka Vlasic. Because there's like.
I don't really know if there's an answer to it. Right? Well, like, if he seriously, and I don't think he was like, Like, I've seen him in some Tottenham games, really.
No, some semi-final games.
Spraying it.
On the
Pep
ball.
City
All
of that, It wasn't like that, so to speak, but it was just so much more calm experience.
But my point is like, I'm surprised that Eddie Howe, who knows his style of football so well, can get out Newcastle. Like, you would have thought that Eddie Howe has the antidote to his football. Because it seems as if, Newcastle's away record is awful. Newcastle's away record is awful. But for someone like Xhaka, like Eddie Howe, as he's doing the deep dive on the team and he's looking at Sunderland's strengths and weaknesses and he's wondering what type of game Sunderland might play, surely he can predict that like the quality is going to come through Xhaka and everyone else is going to be a bit of a workman run around, that kind of stuff. Like, he just didn't seem to have the answers for that. He didn't seem to have the answers for what Xhaka wanted to do. He didn't really seem to have the answers for the leadership piece or what everyone else was going to do. And I'm a bit surprised by that.
I agree. You think that potentially maybe he tells someone to man mark Granit Xhaka. When we
carry him every time.
When we went to Sunderland, I think Marino was playing up top. I think Marino was tasked with that role because he was touch tight to the point where Granit was screaming at him at one point. Right? I think Marino was just winding him up, wasn't giving him any time or space. Obviously, that's a ploy from Arteta, who knows Granit. I thought Eddie Howe might come with that, but then at the same time, he's decided, especially like that first half, Newcastle didn't really have a kick. He's decided we're going to sit deep in a 4-5-1. And that will just allow Granit Xhaka to then get on the ball.
To do his thing.
So, and look, Granit Xhaka was talking his shit after the game. You know, they were talking about last time Newcastle beat them in the FA Cup there. They took a photo at the stadium with the Newcastle fans. So the match of the day interview with Granit's quite good. He's like, the boys were telling me that they took a photo on our pitch in front of our fans, and he was like, I think that's a lack of respect. And he was like, when we go to their place, you won't see us doing that. And he was like, but today we needed to get that photo.
Yeah, we need to circle the date for the return leg.
I think it's in March sometime. But what you're saying about also Eddie Howe's plan and that, I think obviously it's a derby game.
It's dark for Newcastle.
And the Stadium of Light. Yeah. I think when Sunderland go to St. James's Park, like, I'll be shocked if Sunderland get a result in that game.
No.
It will essentially be a reverse, isn't it? The game could look exactly the same. But the Sunderland
can't get a result because it looks really dark for Newcastle. Like, just in the sense of, you know, you're trying to make this progress in these leaps forward, and I'm not here to even get onto Eddie Howe because I've done that before and he's proven me wrong and he's won trophies. But it's like, Eddie Howe has a great season, you finish top 4. Eddie Howe has a fall off season, things go wrong. Eddie Howe has a great season, you win a trophy, and then now it's not that it's a terrible season. There's still a long way to go, and Newcastle can win some games. But I do think sometimes a kind of result like this starts to beg the question of are Newcastle treading water or Newcastle making progress? Because I thought if they beat Sunderland, then it's like, all right, Sunderland's thing is just it's a bit of a fade. Like, they're doing well for now, but it's going to equal out over the end of the season. But now that Sunderland have won this game, I'm looking at things like, well, are Sunderland just not a better team than Newcastle, but is this thing legit? Is Newcastle's team quite meaty, and they're not really going to win the necessary amount of games to like drive themselves up? That's what starts to happen for me when you lose these. Like, Sunderland have just been promoted. They've gone through like back-to-back relegations, and they've gone through all this financial turmoil and all this kind of stuff. Are they going to find some juice to even be they shouldn't be comparable with Newcastle in the Premier League is my point. They shouldn't even be on a level playing field. They should be that Newcastle's budget and experience and quality and all of that shines above.
I mean, they're a Champions League team.
Because Sunderland just got here.
But what I will say is that I think this game is almost one that you just I feel like you should take in isolation. Because
it's that big of a...
It's at the Stadium of Light. It's a massive derby.
Yeah, first time as well for a long time.
And Newcastle don't have a great record in that game anyway. And I think that it's almost one... Like, when they're losing away at West Ham and away at Brentford this season, Newcastle...
That's more of a...
That's looking like what you're saying. Yeah, this one in isolation, obviously now it's a culmination and it's all coming together. But... I think, look, you're saying on Eddie Howe, Yeah, you're not questioning Eddie Howe. Obviously, you've been there before. Newcastle fans are questioning him a bit. Now, I don't know if Newcastle fans have an expectation of
where they should be
moving from Champions League team to a title challenging team. But if that isn't your expectation, I would still have pretty much almost full faith that Eddie Howe will get Champions League.
I've got full faith. Maybe not that Eddie Howe gets Champions League, but I've got full faith that in Eddie Howe and that he's not the problem. I'm not on the like we need to look past Eddie Howe or we should be getting a new manager in. Do they need to? Nah, I think Eddie Howe's he's already proven me wrong. He's won a trophy last season. He's shown what he can do. They didn't go on to have the summer that they wanted to have. They got bullied a bit in the summer. And all of this has to come into context, yeah. But
guys were saying they should have brought Ekitike and Sesko on.
But I'm just looking at this record, bro. Like 6 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses.
That's Newcastle.
That's Newcastle's record. Terrible. Yeah, like when you already have 6 losses at this stage of the season, and we've got some of these Brentford and all these kind of stuff, and you're proving not to be an away team. That's what makes me worried about the top 4 stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have to pick up some points. I thought that Newcastle for sure you can have a bad start, but you can turn it around. And like, are they even gonna do a Villa run of winning 6 games, 8 games in a row? You know?
Yeah, but where are Chelsea?
So Chelsea are 4th. They've got 8 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses.
So what's the points gap between Newcastle and Chelsea?
Chelsea have 28 points. Newcastle have 22 points. Obviously, they play each other next.
So that's a massive game now. Yeah,
massive game.
Park.
Massive
and
game.
if Newcastle win that,
have to win that.
Yeah, but which they probably
can do. Yeah,
they probably will. They got 3 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah.
And obviously they have to bounce back. The reason I say that I'm pretty confident they're going to make top 4 is because I think their home record, like enough. 2 of those losses were Liverpool and Arsenal. In the 100th minute and the 96th minute. Yeah. I think Newcastle's home record will be pretty spot on.
Comprehensive.
For the rest of the season. And I think if you can have that, we know the way teams chalk up top 4 races and everything. We're seeing Chelsea lose at Leeds. And
I do think there's quality that hasn't, obviously Wissa and stuff haven't really even got going yet. There's quality yet to be seen in this Newcastle team. My thing is just as I say, I'm not even on Eddie Howe. I'm just like, if you're a Newcastle fan, I'm not saying that you should be we should be title challengers or we should be a top 3 team in the league. No, I'm happy for you guys to feel as if we should just consolidate a top 6 finish. Yeah. But I worry with these losses to Sunderland and some of these losses to Brentford that this like yo-yo pattern of one good year versus one bad year versus one good year. It's going to
get... Eddie Howe's going to then build a reputation for not being able to manage, because the pattern is Champions League and the drop-off. And he's going to build a reputation for not being able to manage. And their squad is decent.
It's decent.
Like in attacking areas, they pretty much have 2 players in every position. Same in midfield. And defensively, outside of fullbacks, where they might be struggling a bit, but they still have Livramento, Trippier, Hall, Burn, who can play out there. Their squad is decent. Now, the issue is the attack. Yeah. Recently and specifically on Sunday. Now, Walter Marder scored the own goal. It'll be easy to throw heat on him, but we can just put him to one side. Yeah. I'm looking at Elanga, who's been shocking. And I think Elanga's a good player. I thought he was a good player at Forest, but maybe Forest was his level. Yeah, maybe that's what we're seeing.
Elanga's interesting to me because I agree with you. I thought he was a good player at Forest, and I also thought that it was a good move to Newcastle because I thought Newcastle are like the Forest of the big boys. Like they play a similar style of football. They're not asking Elanga to be some like
low block,
possession demon, tiki taka. Can you do this? Can you do? They're asking you to do the same thing, ball over the top, in behind. We're going to soak in some pressure and let you just sort of square it to the attacker. I can't tell you why it hasn't worked. I can't tell you why it hasn't worked for Elanga.
I mean, the reason I say maybe Forest is his level in that is because in the summer when they signed him, and you're a Murphy guy, we both said Elanga's better than Murphy.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us would say that now.
Yeah.
Like, and we can't then put down Eddie Howe because the reason Murphy gets the respect
still
he
getting
gets
games.
is
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
Howe
yeah,
and what
yeah.
Eddie Howe's done with him. So Howe Elanga, I don't even know if he's got a goal or an assist yet.
I can't.
Right?
Yeah.
So Elanga's one. Yeah. Harvey Barnes is doing his thing, but Harvey Barnes has come out of the team now for Anthony Gordon.
So they'd have to get him going.
And what Anthony Gordon has put up for the last, 18 months?
Yeah.
Like, I think he scored his first Premier League goal against Tottenham, that penalty.
Yeah. He's had a couple pens.
Yeah. Now, his performance against Sunderland was abysmal. Yeah, it was shocking. And the Anthony Gordon that we were seeing, the one that everyone was pretty high on, I just don't know where that player has gone.
There is a lack of consistency from Anthony Gordon, and because he doesn't play for a like traditional top 6 club, it can definitely go under the radar 100%. Because if it was anybody else, even Neto, like we've dished out to guys like Neto who are now performing. So I agree that there needs to be a lot more consistency for Anthony Gordon, especially post Isak. He's got the franchise tag. He gets to take pens and do what he wants. But I don't know, man. You just can't be like next week, for example, has to be an Anthony Gordon big game. Like Chelsea can't come and get anything
if he starts.
Yeah, Chelsea can't come and get anything. Newcastle need to get a win, and you need to be the one to put the fork down and say, "No, we are going to win a couple games in a row. We're going to cut the lead to 3 points on Chelsea." And I agree that the attack is so questionable, man. Like I'm a Jacob Murphy guy, but you don't consolidate top 6 banking on Jacob Murphy getting 10 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah.
You don't consolidate a top 8 finish on that. And I think everywhere else for Newcastle, like I think the midfield is enough. I think you've got enough goals and assists in there. Bruno G stepping up a little bit. Tonali.
I mean, Jacob Ramsey seems like, who sanctioned that?
Yeah,
but like Jacob Ramsey is a decent player.
Well, that's a PSR one. Like that one is so weird. That one is so weird. I don't even think Eddie Howe wanted Jacob Ramsey.
Why? Well, exactly. So why sign Jacob Ramsey?
I'm still seeing Willock get minutes.
Yeah.
I'm still like
we both think Jacob Ramsey's a decent player.
It's just and that's, I mean, we could do a whole pod on that itself. Like Newcastle's transfer business compared to what we thought it would have been after the takeover is that in itself is an interesting topic. But Eddie Howe needs specific help, like in specific positions, and it gets real scary if Wissa doesn't get going. He's been injured, so we can't say too much. Yeah, but if Wissa just turns out if Wissa just turns out to be this 30-year-old Congolese guy that doesn't score, score the 20 goals a season.
He was looking dangerous when he came on.
He needs to be because
that one chance where the ball's that's so.
But he needs to be because,
and if he's a bit fitter, I think he gets the bottom of his foot on that.
If Wissa doesn't also turn out to be a live spark, then you've just got 6. Like you've got goals in Voltamata and goals in Barnes.
Yeah,
that's what you've got goals in this season, and everyone else is just proven to be like.
And next up is probably Murphy.
Which,
as much as we respect Murphy, is also a problem.
After that, it's just bit part stuff, which ain't gonna help, man.
Agreed. Big one for Newcastle on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to that game. I can't lie, 12:30. I might even get up super early to watch all the build-up. All right. Now, Arsenal did play on Saturday.
Yep.
And I'm still
reeling.
I still can't really. I don't really believe that I witnessed what I witnessed on Saturday evening. I don't really believe that was real. And I think when I woke up on Sunday and I had to like really kind of ask myself, did that actually? I had to check on Google. Was this the score? Did Rockadare score in the 90th minute?
It's bad because I have zero interest in almost anybody else's match reaction to this game. I don't really want to know.
Yeah.
It's just we say this a lot, we've said this a lot this season and all this kind of stuff, but that is like, just give me the points and I don't think we should bin the performance. I think there's stuff to talk about, there's red flags to raise, all of this kind of stuff. But in terms of how I felt after the game, it's definitely not one I want to look back on.
Yeah. Just forget it happened.
Yeah, really. It's not one I want
to. After we record this podcast, we might talk about it for a bit off air, and then we will never talk about it.
Yeah.
But you're right. The first point I have on this game is 3 points is 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the very first, because that is ultimately the most important part.
Yeah, that's what was needed. Could you imagine if it wasn't?
Exactly. If this was a draw,
head loss.
this pod would have gone triple
platinum. We wouldn't talk about any other fixture.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I'm saying where we give it respect, and we'll talk about that first. It would have just been Arsenal
decimation,
crisis, title of the pod.
Yeah.
An hour and a half on Arsenal. But look, 3 points is 3 points. But like you say, there are stuff to get into. So, look, I've gone down to the Emirates on Saturday, 8 p.m. First of all, TNT, please stop doing those kickoffs.
Yeah.
Please. Like,
I think they think they're doing people a favor.
Yeah. Can we not just play that one at 12:30? Like, I'll happily get up and go for a 12:30, be back at yard by 3 o'clock.
Yeah, see the rest of the games.
Yeah, like, I'm not getting home till 11:30.
Or sacrifice one of the 2 p.m s on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 5 2 p.m s on a Sunday. But we don't have a...
Agreed. Or just stick another one at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
However it needs to be done. But anyway, we've gone there. And silly me, I'm expecting...
Easy one.
Top of the league against bottom of the league who have 2 points and no wins at home to just be able to enjoy my Saturday night. But of course not. Shocking performance from Arsenal.
I actually thought we were away. After the first sort of half an hour, I thought we were performing away from home. I still think it was one of our worst performances of the season, like context included. And I know we got 3 points, and like, even if you want to break the game down, it wasn't necessarily that bad. We'll have chances, and the stats might suggest, that we were on top of them and stuff. But I just had the overarching feeling that this was an awful performance. Especially, I think it's because of the weight of the expectation. Like, I didn't expect to win 4 or 5. No, I thought that could happen, but I thought we would definitely get an early one and just sort of meander through the rest of the game. To take Wolves it felt like a game 7. To take Wolves to game 7, like in the middle of December,
we needed Kyrie.
Yeah, we needed
the last 3 minutes 12 seconds of the 2017.
That's what it takes. That's what it's taking us to beat Wolves at home. Well, it doesn't give you confidence. And my copiism is just that we're not out of our rut. The rut that we've been on since Bayern Munich, since we beat Bayern. We've just been in the rut, Chelsea, all these kind of games. To me, this is just, we're still in that rut. We haven't found the solutions. We haven't found the answers. We haven't found what it takes.
Yeah.
And that is why the performances are the way they are. If we continue to perform that way, we will 100% drop points.
Yep.
Soon, Everton. We'll drop points at Everton if we put in that exact same performance.
Saturday night, away from home.
No, things have to change. Things have to change quickly. And I can't quite put my finger on it, because I think the starting lineup should be Everton. I think the way we performed in the first half, be it not good, should still be 2 or 3 goals up. I don't understand. I don't understand taking Wolves to that length, like
at home.
Like, right? When that goal went in, I can't tell you how dark it was.
Yeah. Bro, I was sat there.
I can't tell you how dark it was when that goal went in, and I'm doing the calculations in my mind of how I can.
No, there was no calculation. But for me, right, like, okay, Arsenal, it's bad enough that we are whiskers away from giving Wolves their 3rd point of the season,
and there'll be no way to justify it.
Point of the season. Way. Right, and absolutely no way to justify it. Now, yet again, to me, it was similar to the second half against Brentford. Yeah, and you're at that game as well, right? So, and my thing with the Brentford game was we played well in the first half. Marino's obviously put us 1-0 up early on, and that's why the game's a bit different. Obviously, this one was a bit more nervy, but that second half against Brentford wasn't great, and it's a point that I've made a couple of times about not giving our defense any respite. Our defense have to keep a clean sheet because our attack will only allow them to win this game 1-0.
Yeah. Or by 1 goal margin.
Exactly. And for Brentford, they held it down. Mosquera and Hincapié, right? Even though it's not like Gabriel and Saliba, fair enough. You're just going to put it on them to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Can our attack help out Mosquera and Hincapié if they're there? Maybe score 2, allow them to make a mistake. The exact same thing for Wolves. The guy scores in the 90th minute. He's 6'14". Yeah. I can't really expect Hincapié to win that header. And all of a sudden, it's 1-1 because our attack couldn't put a second goal past Wolves at home.
Yeah.
Right? So the problem, as it was last week when we spoke about it after Villa, is in the attack. Now, specifically, let's talk about Victor Gyökeres, because there's a lot of conversations on Victor Gyökeres. Now, I can't lie, after the game, especially because I thought that it was Jesus' header. Yeah,
he was coming with
yeah. I thought like
it's still Jesus' header.
I'm gonna give him all the credit for making the run,
to me, it's still
causing
Jesus.
the chaos.
I can't believe he's not got anything on it.
But I'm disappointed that he hasn't. Even if he'd flicked it onto Mosquera and it gone in, I'll give him the goal.
I think he saw the calculations.
I'm giving that to Saka, who we'll talk about later. He's made the run. I'm gonna give him credit for that. Yeah, but I was annoyed with Gyökeres after the game because I don't think he offered enough. However, when I watched it back, I think there's two moments where he's just off the ball. One with Saka. Saka's put a brilliant first in, and he's just off it, right? And the hope is, obviously, we saw that pretty much same thing against Forest when Eze put the ball in and he scored. He's just coming back from injury. Similar with Martinelli, the chance that Martinelli should score from. If Martinelli's not going to score there, but he rolls that across, Gyökeres is in the position. He's made the right runs to score. There was the one when Trossard came on, he rolled his defender, he had a shot. Those aren't going in. So when I actually rewatched the game, I was less annoyed by it. Yeah. However, that doesn't change the fact that we need more. This is still Wolves at home. We do still need to score goals, but it's not a case of throwing in the towel. But we need more, and at a moment I'm willing to put that as he's coming back from injury.
No, I hear you. I've given him leniency, but I am getting like to wits end. I don't know what that means. Yeah, because I'm not like he still scored 5 goals for us. I still think there's a player in there who can score a couple of goals and be an important player. But I'm getting tired of Gyökeres being whiskers away from the good balls. Yeah, and always on the end of the shitty balls. Like the ones that like are awful and don't beat the first man. He's there to crane his neck, get a foot on, bring down, and I'm like, I can't get onto him for that chance because it's a bad ball and the service is poor. And then the ones that are good are whisk past his feet, past his head, go out to the byline. And I'm like, I agree. I said it last week. I want more from him. I want more aggression. I want more shots. He's one of the few players whose like roles in this team is so defined. Like, I'm not judging Gyökeres on hold up play. I'm not judging Gyökeres on, can he bring others into play and who does he make better around him and all that kind of stuff. I'm really judging him on his goals and the threat that he's providing. And I think the unfortunate thing for Gyökeres now, or at least for the situation, is that it feels as if I'm waiting on other people to get into the team to provide goals.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting on Havertz to come back, or waiting on Marino to get up top, or I'm waiting for Jesus to give me a cameo at 9 for there to be that like threats, goal presence. And I feel like it should be the opposite. I just feel like if there's one thing I should be getting annoyed at Gyökeres is for being too selfish and not passing, and for taking shots that aren't really on. And I want Jesus because Jesus is going to play the pass. He's going to see the ball, or Marino's going to see the man open and all that kind of stuff. But I want Marino up there because Marino gets on the good ball. Marino gets onto the end of the good ball.
But that's where pre the injury, it looked like Gyökeres had got to a point where he was getting to that stuff. Obviously, he'd scored against Burnley just before he got injured.
And that was a good game from him. Good 45. That was
probably his best performance, right? He'd obviously scored against Athletic or whatever. And now he's come back from injury. So I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, like he needs to be getting to those. And if we get to Everton and Brighton in our next 2 and whatever, and he's still not getting to those,
it's a different conversation,
right? But at the moment, I'll just give him. And look, I might say I'm an Arsenal fan. It is because I'm an Arsenal fan.
No, but
I want him to do well, and I'm going to support it. So for now, I'm going to give him.
But I think it's wise because things can change so quickly, especially with strikers and goals. Like if he bags a brace at Everton, and we win the game, like everything that we'd be saying here.
We say Gyökeres goals.
Stat
pads and
if he bags a brace at Everton, or if he gets 3 in his next 2, or however it shakes out, and those equate to points. Like the narrative and things can change so quickly. So I think it's right to hold off and it's right to ask more of him And as I say, I think the real damning thing for Gyökeres is that, especially for goal threat or goal presence or wherever it is, it feels as if I'm waiting on others to do that. And like I'm saying, bring Gyökeres off after 60 minutes because he's done a good job running down the defenders and making them tired.
Yeah.
You know, and it shouldn't be that way. Like Jesus has come off 2 ACL injuries. There shouldn't be a significantly higher goal threat in Jesus. We should just be happy to see that he's out. They should really just be like applauding his every move and touch because we're so thankful he's back after another year-long injury.
And Jesus still had it was a poor shot, but he had a shot on target when he skipped past.
Yeah.
But I think what we can potentially say, unless he does go stupid like Paul George, is that he's not going to be the striker that's come in and scored 20 goals to win us the league. But his goals, combined with Havertz's goals, combined with Jesus' goals, combined with Marino's goals, which is a point that they were talking about on Monday Night Football earlier today, can win us the league.
Yeah.
Those 4 guys all chipping in together. And I'm throwing Marino in there because we have to at this point. Can do it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly because I still think this team isn't. And Marino, it's we just always have to put that in a different box. But we aren't scoring goals like striker goals. Yeah, and the Villa game would have done with a goal from a striker. The Chelsea game could have done with a goal from a striker. Like I still don't really put too much on the Sunderland game. That's 2-2. We've seen teams are going to go there and struggle. But if Gyökeres, as I say, in these games ahead of us, these high leverage moments, just scores striker goals that Saka isn't going to score, Trossard isn't going to score because he's just right time, right place, punishing a defender for a mistake, that kind of stuff, then 100% he can still score pivotal goals for us in this title race or, whatever's going to happen. So I'll give that wholeheartedly about how not done it is and how he still can have a huge part to play. But he just needs to do his job. Just score goals that a striker would score. Just score that 1v1, just score that rebound, just score that tap in to ease the pressure off the defense. Go 2-0 up versus Wolves. I think it's criminal to bring it back to the game. It is criminal to go 1-0 up versus struggle so much to get 1 goal. Go 1-0 up and think that, that's enough, that's calm.
Because the way we played at 1-0 was...
We did it at Brentford, and at Brentford I was like, it's cool.
Instead of saving legs for Villa.
Yeah, because you got away with it in the end, but look, we got away with it at Brentford because there was a chance that flashed across the box, but here against Wolves, the 6'14" guys, you say he gets a glance on it, it goes in. I can't blame Raya, I can't blame Hincapié. I don't even know if it's really a cross. It's like a shot that's it's just hit the right guy to go in, and that can happen in football, isn't it? That's why we shouldn't be banking on a 1-goal lead.
But in the build up to that, Wolves have had 4 minutes sustained possession.
It's bad, man.
At the Emirates.
It's bad. It's bad.
Like, we have to remember who they are, and it's shameless from Arsenal because, like you say, we've gone 1-0 up, but how have we gone 1-0 up?
We struggled to get that goal.
Johnston's touched it onto the post, onto him
to go in.
2 own goals at home to 20th in the league. We're shameless. We're shameless because we're going to come here claim that 3 points is 3 points.
As I say, I think it's just we weren't as good as everybody says we were. Like we have the capability to be the best team in Europe, but we're not just flat out the best team in Europe. The way guys are saying after Bayern Munich. But I also,
but we already spoke about that.
It was nasty.
Yeah, like we're allowed to feel like that. We're Arsenal fans.
Yeah, we're like exactly. But the way I'm coming on to talk sport, and everyone's like, it's just the best team.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But
we also definitively can't be as bad as we were versus Wolves. Like, we can't be a team that struggles against the bottom of the table Wolves. Like, there is a rut going on. If you want to take a silver lining, we're able to pick up points even whilst still being in a rut. Yeah. But it has to change quite quickly because we won't be able to, after Villa. If we don't win if we don't win versus Everton, I can't be saying, we've picked up points versus Brentford at home and we're not playing well.
Exactly. It's going to be sticky.
And we need to beat Everton.
Also because of, like I said about Man City when they beat Leeds. Yeah, I said it to you off air that's not what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, the guys want to say, this is what champions do, but beating Leeds at home, that's not what it looks like. I said last year, Arsenal beat Leicester at home. Trossard scored in the 92nd minute. To me, is not what champions do. a newly promoted team that you should just batter at home.
Yeah.
Now, when Wolves come to the Emirates and they've only got 2 points all season, that should be yams, cornbread, collard greens.
Do you know, it's ironic that you say this because
that should not be what it looks like.
I thought the same thing watching the Villa game. And obviously Villa beat West Ham 3-2. Roger scores 2 good goals in the final couple moments. And the commentators doing the whole, Villa can't be denied. No one wanted them in the title race, but they're in that, all of this kind of stuff, yeah. And I think Villa are doing really well. And
yeah.
For me, unfortunately, 3-2 win to West Ham coming in the last 10 minutes doesn't signify.
Yeah, but
that like you're in a title race or I hear it for Sky PR. Let's push a 3-horse title race. Yeah. Let's do all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, but
set them up to fail.
And West Ham are this current iteration are on a decent run of they've not lost in 4 games or whatever it is, but I just think and it could have gone either way.
Yeah, Bowen had the offside.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. But if you're in that kind of shootout with a West Ham, I'm thinking, you might lose. You might lose a couple
which
of those.
Which is what we said about Villa. But the one thing I will give to Villa, is that if this exact Arsenal-Wolves game had panned out exactly how it panned out at Molineux, I would have been like, you know what, that's a big 3 points.
Yeah. I hear it.
Right?
Away from home does make it completely different.
I'm saying?
Agreed.
Right? But at home, that should just not be what it looks like. And look, another attacking player that I want to have a bit of a conversation on is Eze. Because I think this is a double-edged sword, yeah. Firstly, Mikel Arteta should not be bringing off Eze ever when we need a goal. Ever. In any game state, no matter how bad he's playing, and he was playing poorly, he was a ghost in that game against Wolves, but you shouldn't bring him off because he is literally the difference maker.
Yeah.
However, the other side of that sword is that this isn't Crystal Palace. So if you're going to be a ghost and you're going to play that poorly, Mikel Arteta can take you off because he has the other options.
I agree.
So it's a double-edged sword, but I'm not a fan of that because when Eze comes off that pitch and we need a goal, I'm sat there as a fan thinking,
we lose.
Fuck.
Yeah, we lose a lot. We lose a lot, and I agree.
But Eze has to up it, so
and
that's
the thing. And that's exactly, and that's the thing is, and Eze has to up it. Like obviously, he has to up it quite a lot. But I think just to stay on the pitch, he has to up it by like 1%, bro, 2-3%. Like if you give
slap the crossbar,
whistles wide, like give Arteta a reason not to take you off. Because I agree, if Eze comes off and we need a goal, we're losing a guy that can shoot off either foot or create off either foot, and we're probably bringing on a guy who just he has one move to him. Yeah. Like so. I don't want to limit. I don't want to take off if it's MMA. I don't want to take off the guy who's good in the ground game, good in his feet. I need a knockout in this round, and I've got a guy who can do it all. Versus like almost a one-trick pony, not to be disrespectful to anyone.
Yeah.
So I agree with that 100%. But then I also hear it from Arteta's POV in the sense of you're giving a guy 60, 65, 70 minutes to. Versus Wolves at home to make a difference, to get a goal, and it just feels as if the game is drifting him by.
Yeah,
man, we need more. I agree, because obviously we're gonna get onto Saka, and I need it still to be a 2-man step. Yeah, it can't just be Saka and Inshallah. It has to be the both of them in tandem. So I need Eze to hold up his end of the bargain, and he's done all right. I'm still not like trying to hear overly critical analysis of Eze because he has been big for us in some moments. But I agree, there are these games, these Villa games, these Chelsea games that we've been dropping points in recently where it's like, I don't think it's anything else other than a lack of quality that we're dropping out on points in these games. I don't think it's tactical. I don't think it's decisions within the game of like refereeing decisions or whatever it is. I just think we've had 50 odd minutes in a lot of these games and our quality hasn't shone through the way it should. It feels as if only one guy's got it working today and the other guy doesn't have it working. I need both guys to have it working.
Bare minimum. Yeah.
Because
ideally more than that.
Our title challengers, our chasers, they've got 2 guys who've got it working right now.
Yeah.
So we need 2 guys to get it working as opposed to like, Saka's hot or Eze's hot.
They only need one guy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But they have to.
But they've got
to. Yeah. So look, I agree with that. Look, you mentioned Bukayo Saka. Before we get onto Bukayo Saka, if we are gonna have two guys that are getting it working, massive shout out to Leandro Trossard. Yeah, because that is our best left winger. That is also, we've had the conversation before, someone we thought might have been dispensable. When he came on that pitch against Wolves, all of a sudden there's forward passes.
It's cute ones.
He's making Wolves think. Balls in behind, everything. Shout out Leandro Trossard because you changed that game as well. But Bukayo Saka is the one and only positive that I took away from that game. Because like we've been saying, even though we got 3 points overall, it's not a game that's given me confidence that this team can win the league and whatever. But time and time again, when nobody on that pitch wants to stand up and be counted for and actually rise to the occasion, Bukayo Saka is the one that stands up. He puts the rest of the team on his back, the rest of the attack on his back, and he carries them to where they need to be. It's like watching in those war movies, when someone gets shot or whatever, and then sort of carry it, never leave them out, like Saving Private Ryan, never leave them out. But Bukayo Saka's carrying 4 men out of the war zone, to save, and he's saving their lives as well. Because he's picking up the 3 points.
When it went 1-1, I was resigned to the fact that this was done, this was over. That no one's gonna have it in them to rise to up the levels. Before I've even really had a chance to switch off the stream, we equalized. We've gone back ahead. So I'm running out of superlatives for Saka. I'm surprised that people still sort of talk down on him or doubt him or bring up stats about how long since his last assist or whatever. And I get it in the sense of, I guess it's just big boy treatment. But he does it week in, week out for us. Not this season, not the season before, not the season before that, not this, like all of them combined. It's not just one season. He's not a one season wonder. It's not even, with all respect to Martinelli, who's balling. Yeah. It's not even a Martinelli thing where we're saying, but remember 2022, 2023, and, we're like hoping he gets back to some level, It's not even that thing. It's like every week, Saka is the guy for us. If there is a big moment, if we're in a questionable, sticky situation, we're banking on him to get us out of it. And more often than not, he does, but we know it's not sustainable. Or at least it's not enough. Just having him as the guy. So it has to be other people. And when you see situations like Wolves, that's what makes it bittersweet. Saka still got us, but that's also not a slight on Saka. Exactly.
Because to only have one guy, you kind of have to be Erling Haaland. And Erling Haaland, like the goal scoring rate, he's already got 36 goals for club and country or whatever. It's the middle of December. But like when we weren't looking at, like, Hazard had Costa. Salah had Mane.
Exactly.
Right. Mahrez had Sane. Sterling.
Vardy.
Right. Vardy. Exactly. So you need another guy. You can't just win the league on your ones. And you made the perfect point there about these tough games. In recent fixtures, when the chips have been down and it's looking sticky for Arsenal, and we need someone to stand up and show the fight. I'm looking at Sunderland when he scores and makes it 1-1, gets us back in the game. Chelsea, twist Cucurella left, right, centre, and again before putting the ball on a plate for Marino to make that 1-1. Villa, we've come straight out of second half and he's gone down the line. He's put the ball in. He's made that 1-1 in that tough game.
Man.
And now Wolves, right? So those 4 fixtures in recent times that really the chips are down and we need to get back into this game. Bukayo Saka is the only one.
It's the reason it's not an hour and a half long podcast just killing Arsenal.
Exactly. For the last 4 weeks. And shout out Trossard because he did his thing against Sunderland. He scored the goal against Villa and he obviously done his thing. So shout out Trossard as well. But Bukayo Saka, levels and levels above. He time and time again. And almost to the point where I'm like we said, he's looking at Eze and he's like, help.
Yeah, for real.
I've got help. But please.
I think it's a bit part. I think some weeks is like, as I say, for the Tottenham game, he's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But had that Tottenham game been 0-0 going into the last 20,
it's him.
Would have risen.
It's him. But look, Saka's proven it, and that's why we go to him. That's why we bank on him. And I get it. There's a couple new pieces here, and it's not on the same sort of trust level with the fans. But for especially guys like Eze, who we know have the talent, they have to quickly get to that level. Like, they have to quickly get to the point where we're trusting on the both of them. like consistently. And and first things first, you got to stay on the pitch to do that. Like Arteta wanted to rest Saka in this game. I know he did.
Yeah.
I know he wanted to give Noni reps after Noni's midweek performance. I know that.
Yeah.
We know that. But it seems as if the game is only going to have one goal in it, and I can't take. It needs to be that sort of thing for Eze, where it's like.
And can you imagine if he'd taken Saka off, this would have been an hour and a half. We wouldn't have won that game.
But it needs to get to that point for Eze quite quickly, where it's like you work your way into the manager's trust.
Yeah.
Where it's like he knows he can't take you off. Like he knows he can't do it because you're too much. The quality is this and that, and
especially in a game state where
it's Bayern Munich that Arteta's like, I'll take off Saka because it doesn't matter whether we win or lose that game. But it's Wolves away that he has to play him for the full 90.
Yeah, agreed.
It shouldn't be like that, guys. You need to.
Look, it was just. Look, we got the 3 points.
We got the 3 points.
That's where we can.
We got the 3 points.
Look, we go to Everton this week, but look, this is a massive wake up. It needs to be a massive wake up call for all of those Arsenal players. Because Mikel Arteta has come out afterwards and he said we fell into horrible defensive habits before their goal. Yeah. Why? Why have we fallen into horrible defensive habits against Wolves at home when we finished second the last 3 years in a row and we should know exactly what we need to do? Why have we fallen? Because it's obviously not instruction from the manager.
Yeah.
So that's something to do with the players out there on the pitch.
I mean, there is an insecurity there. There is a mental fragility in this team, which is showing.
I mean, look, we just need Gabriel back.
Yeah.
Because obviously Rice, everyone's been saying that Rice was fuming, whatever. You could see Gabriel trying to calm him down on the touchline at the end of the game. We need Gabriel back because Gabriel will just. I feel like that mental fragility, it
disappears a bit. Yeah.
It seems to like we weren't saying this when.
Yeah,
we could just score one goal.
That's true, and see how the game.
The defenders didn't need any rest.
Yeah.
Because. So look, but again, that mental fragility shouldn't just be on Gabriel, and when Gabriel's in, we don't have it.
Yeah.
It needs to be. And look, shout out Hincapié again because, like I said, the guy's 6'14". He's gonna win that header, but Hincapié played well again. So
it's the margins, bro.
And Saliba, it was good to see Saliba.
Yeah, he was gonna be my MVP.
I saw some step overs. I was enjoying that. Look. Obviously, on Sunday, Man City went to Selhurst Park. They went to Palace, which has been a bit of a bogey round maybe in the past, but they won 3-0, kept a clean sheet. Haaland and Foden scoring. Cherki with another assist, doing what they need to do. Said, fair, if they beat West Ham because they play before us, they'll go top of the league.
Yeah. It's
Thoughts?
City, they're, as I said, that we're in a rut. They're in the rich vein of form because as much as they beat Palace 3-0 and they're sort of deserved winners. I don't know if it was a 3-0 game. Before they made it 2-0, it was very much like Palace had their chances and there were always that like final ball or action away from taking the lead.
I mean, they hit the post and the crossbar.
Yeah, like it was very close, but City coming off beating Madrid, coming off 4 or 5 wins in a row, Foden in form, Haaland in form, Cherki balling, like... Ultimately, if you don't take those chances against this, November, December City, then they're gonna come through winners. And look, it's quite scary. As I say, it gets scarier and scarier week on week. The longer Foden stays in form. For me, Foden's form is more scary than Haaland's form because I know Haaland's gonna score goals.
We know what we're gonna get.
I know Haaland's gonna get to City could finish 8th and Haaland would still have 30 goals.
Yeah.
So that I'm not afraid of. It's just that that game was in the balance, in my opinion, until Foden scores the second goal. And then it's like, 2-0, it's tough. Palace have to go chasing the game. And I didn't even see the third goal. So
it was a penalty,
for me, the scariness or the scary stuff is Foden finding form at the right time to help Haaland ice games, kill off games, make it easy 3-0s. Make it routine stuff, and now they're making it seem as if Palace away isn't a hard fixture, as if everybody should just be going there and expecting to get 3 points.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it long, is the potential for this to be consistent. And Foden, man, the most annoying thing about Foden is you don't know when it's going to stop. Like it could be this week, he could be done, he could be back in the mountains and the hills, not caring about football, or he could just go to the end of the season, scoring every other game.
Yeah,
helping out in every other game.
Yeah.
So that's really where the fear factor kicks in for me is like, well, how long does this go on for? Do I just expect him to be at this MVP level for the rest of the season, deciding games whenever he wants? Or is there going to be this like tail off? Does he get injured? Does he just lose like, I don't know, interest in the game? Does like some sort of England scandal happen and he's all too much? Like, you know,
it's unpredictable. Like, simple, like we just don't know what that's going to look like. But more importantly, obviously, somewhat bringing it back to Arsenal, if we get our second man turning up, whether that's Eze, whether that's going to continue to be Trossard, whether that's one of your, we could go toe to toe, even with these Foden goals, and we'll see where we are. But if Foden is going to be on this, we need the second.
We need the second guy more than ever, right? More than ever.
So, and Pep came out after the game, and said that Foden didn't play well at all against Crystal Palace today. He said it was a poor performance.
I wish Pep had come out and praised him, because now I know that Pep's he's on the man games and he's on the stoking the fire. Stoke.
He said Phil didn't play well today. He said he was rushing his action.
Because Haaland didn't win that. Like, Haaland's got his 2 goals. He's got his stats. The first goal is big.
Yeah.
And it's like...
it's just a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, it's come against the run of play. Yeah. I don't even know if that's a great ball in.
I mean, I only saw the match of the day highlights, but that looked like their first shot.
It was, bro. It's come against the run of play. I don't even know if it's a great ball in, but it's found its way to Haaland, who's also just found enough of a finish, to get it, to get it past Henderson to go in. So the Foden thing is the real dagger, and the third goal for Haaland is just a stat pad. Sorry, the second goal is just a stat pad.
Yeah.
But that is going to be an issue. And look, Turkey's playing well and stuff, But honestly, man, Foden's got like 5 goals in the last 4 games or whatever it is, bro. Take out those goals, and it's an issue for City. I feel like, so we can't hang our hat on that because they're on form and they're on the run and they're making their run. We asked, I think, is someone else going to score other than Haaland? They found someone else to score other than Haaland, so you got to be fearful of that. But yeah, it just means that our second guy has to step up and he has to match Foden's heater, if not better Foden's heater, depending, like, no matter how long Foden's heater goes on for.
Leo.
It's going to be tight, man. It's going to be tight. That City team is not going away.
Agreed. And it could be table could look a bit interesting next week. So look, the reason I said there, I saw the match of the day highlights on Man City, because we said at the top of the show there were 4 games at 2:00, and instead of watching, obviously I watched the derby, the Sunderland Newcastle game, and on the iPad, instead of City
double screen,
I had Forest versus Tottenham because I knew I was like, well, this Tottenham team doesn't want to play a Sean Dyche team. They don't want to go away to Forest, the City ground, on a Sunday 2:00 when they think bigger games are on and nobody's watching them.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Sean Dyche has got the setup right, and they've won midweek in Europe. And I was like, yeah, this is the one I need to watch. I need to see a lot of conversation on Thomas Frank. They beat Brentford last week. They beat Slavia Prague midweek. Seemed like maybe a corner was being turned. Back. Let's see. Now, Forest, litmus test. Sean Dyche, real men. Yeah. And Thomas Frank failed spectacularly.
Baku. This is bad. This is bad. This is really
because
bad.
Tottenham got absolutely battered. Yeah. And obviously, we're going to spend most of this section talking on the Tottenham side. But the Cho brace, the second one, I still don't really know if I'm just going to blame Vicario for that. It seems like one of those ones that's just a bit like...
The looped one.
Yeah.
Mudrik's one.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's literally the one I was thinking.
You have to account for one of those per year.
But at the same time, because I can allow it with Mudryk, because there's not really like a history with Raya. Yeah. Vicario, he's a serial offender. He's got a record.
I just think the bad thing, particularly with Vicario on this one, and as I agree with you, I don't necessarily know if he's at fault here. It's just that when you're at full stretch like that, and you're still nowhere near it.
Yeah.
When you're at full stretch like that and you're still nowhere near it, it just
Something must have gone wrong, right?
But like, why dive? That's what
also,
it makes me feel.
Also, we think that because Raya wasn't really anywhere near Mudrik's one, but we think that because Vicario's rap sheet is extensive. He's been done too many times.
I'm telling you, it looks better for you as a keeper when it just like hits the post and goes in, but you're stood planted. And and like the commentator, all he can do is watch as that's missiles in. You'd rather that one than be like at full stretch. You've given guys the hope that you've timed it or you've seen the geometrics of the ball and you can get there.
None of the defenders are jumping because they can see you diving at full stretch. And look, I agree with you. You should just stand still. But Vicario won't even stand still, even when Sangare has lashed one from outside the box, outside the foot, spinning away off the post.
Yes.
I was screaming when that's an unbelievable.
They were saying
the technique on that.
That's his goodbye present for AFCON.
Sangare was like a destroyer. Someone who breaks up the play and plays the odd progressive pass.
Man.
The way he's come on to that.
I saw Forest fans. My tweet of the week already locked in. I saw a Forest fan under the goal was like, and it's so cheesy, it's so corny. He's like, it was like 72% of this earth is covered in water. The other is covered by Sangare. I was like,
that's paying homage to Kante because Kante was.
You can say that, or you can say that on Sangare, 1 game a year, 2 games a year. The Sangare was everywhere, and he's not a bad player. It's just that he was everywhere. You can only say that 1 or 2 games a year.
Sangare's come out of this game with a goal and 2 assists. He's a DM.
They said right before AFCON, he's just dropped his best performance. Right before AFCON, he's left. he's left
the leaving present. But
I love when players do that.
The Paul Scholes goal against Barcelona,
in
the Champions League semi-final, bro. It's not that far away, you know. That is a ridiculous strike. The way he's cut across that, and Vicario should just let that
one go. That's the one you let.
It's what I said about Courtois and Declan Rice.
Yeah.
And that's Courtois.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get to everything.
Exactly.
I'm even telling Courtois just don't go.
Chill.
For that one. Vicario should just watch that one go in. But screamer, well played. Nottingham Forest. They pressed. They were defensively solid.
As I said this versus Liverpool. Sean Dyche doesn't coach 3-0. Like he doesn't come into games being like my X's and O's is going to lead us to a 3-0 victory.
Agreed.
You have to give him the onus. You have to give him a goal. You have to give him something. You have to stop playing wherever it is for Sean Dyche to get a 3-0 win over you because his games he maps out a 1-0 or 2-1.
And it could have been 5 or 6, right? With the amount of chances that Forest had. And look, Murillo munched up Richarlison.
Yeah. I'm starting to worry. Not worry, but like I'm starting to really wonder what Richarlison has on Thomas Frank. Like why Richarlison?
Yeah.
And part of me hears it.
But I think he's their best striker.
Part of me hears it. Like in terms of maybe what Thomas Frank is looking for, gritty and grimy and can run down channels and just have a little bit of everything to his game. But I just don't feel like he's offering enough of a goal threat, especially because I get it. Solanke's out. God knows what's up with him. But there's Kolo Muani there. There's some other options to play around with.
I agree with you on Richarlison. So would you play Kolo Muani?
I would try, because I think the thing about Tottenham is that they're not scoring enough goals. And I know they just beat whoever they beat midweek. Yeah, but at least in the Premier League, they don't seem to have enough of a goal threat. And it's not that, it's all down to Richarlison. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. Maybe he's just not the 90-minute player that Thomas Frank has him as. Maybe you need his grit and griminess over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He's been running channels for 60 minutes or whatever it is. But just to when I see Murillo just munch him up like that, I feel like, oh yeah, I see that every week. I saw Hincapié do that. Yeah. I see whoever it is do that every week. Rest him or get him out the firing line or.
Agreed. He should probably come out of the team, but Murillo would do that to
most guys. Yeah.
Right, if he goes up there. But even if you want to put Kolo Muani up there because he might be slightly better than Richarlison, who plays on the left? Bergvall.
What's up with BJ?
He's not feeling BJ. He's not rating.
He's
his
not a
thing,
BJ
bro.
guy.
He's not rating his thing. They're saying he's going to go to Palace in Jan.
That's crazy.
And Glasnow will get a
Yeah. That's
right?
Crazy.
Because BJ's proven to score what, like 10 goals.
He's good for a back post tapping. I just feel as if with Tottenham as well, I don't think their squad has immense quality, but I don't want to hear it because you've got Odobed and you've got Tell, and I don't know who's injured or who's fit, but I've seen these rotational guys come in and come out of the team where for a guy like Thomas Frank, who's never had a plethora of talent to choose from, he's still got more than he's ever had in his career of talent to choose from. So the manager, I still think Thomas Frank is thinking that he can do more with less. I'm expecting something out of a left wing or the Bear, or even if it's Colomwani left wing, but Richarlison up top, like something that can cling on to that fans can. If fans, it's almost as if fans are clamoring for Ange back. Fans are saying at least with Ange we had this and that,
style
and this and
that.
Yeah. Bro, there should be no circumstance where Tottenham fans are talking about at least with Ange we had this and that. You know, I don't know how Thomas Frank can.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Frank has generated that.
I don't know how he can put himself into that sort of position where Ange didn't even have Kudus.
Yeah.
Ange was playing attacking football and he was gung ho, and he didn't even have guys like Kudus to help him out a little bit.
Or Romero, Van fit, and
you know. So I think with Tottenham, I think when you start losing 3-0 to teams like Nottingham Forest, who've had 3 different managers and a poor start, and they're doing well with Daesh, but you can lose that game even. You just can't lose that game 3-0. If Forest beat you, it's because of the last minute Gibbs White, quality.
You can lose that game, but you've competed.
Yeah. 2-1, 3-1, sorry, 3-2. Like, as I say, it has to come in the dire numbers of the game on some shootout, and even that will be Forest's like first win in the final 5 minutes at home. It has to be on some like. It just can't be that we lose to Forest and then we play Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's what that definitely cannot
which is now a massive game for Thomas Frank as well.
Do you think he gets anything out of the Liverpool game?
Yeah, I think he can.
Or is it Anfield?
No.
No,
it feels like Anfield. So rap, even with Liverpool's form. But the reason I say that is because we had a conversation about Thomas Frank, I think after they lost to Arsenal, and we were both sat here. So genuinely, honestly,
I still think he's a good manager.
Yeah, and I think he's. I might edit this out, but I think he's a better manager than Arne Slot. Right, that might get edited out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he's a good manager. So when they play Liverpool next week,
he'll have something.
Do I believe that Thomas Frank has the capability to set the team up in the right way to get a result in that game? Yes. Now, whether they do it and whether the players go out and perform, and whether Thomas Frank does pick, like if he's got 4, 5, 6 game plans that he can pick from, whether he does pick the right one, I know he can. But at the moment, more often than not, as Tottenham gaffer, it seems like he's not picking the right one.
What I'll say is the Liverpool fixture is the one for Thomas Frank. The same way I told you that when we drew with City, like Newcastle needs to be a big game. I do think it needs to be a big game for Thomas Frank because those are the ones he gets right. Like those are the ones where he can cede possession to Liverpool, set up in his back 4, back 5, or whatever it is, and have his guys like move the ball between the lines quickly, go long to Van Dijk, go long to Konate, have you fixture issues, all this kind of stuff. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like the almost
pieces.
The worst nightmare for him would be like an Everton or a Nuno, like a David Moyes Everton or a Nuno or a Sunderland, where it's like they're coming to be physical, they're coming to win a game by 1 goal. They're not really here for your tactics. They're not really here. They're not really here. It's all about dog and passion and heart.
Yeah.
That one he can lose.
Also, like you touched on it earlier about Odobe, all these guys. A lot of the stuff that like we think about Thomas Frank, other people think about Thomas Frank, is what he did with so many guys at Brentford. Like who was in Bremo?
Yeah, exactly.
Who was Ivan?
No, I agree.
Who was Ollie Watkins? Who was Wissa? Who all these guys? Damsgaard.
I just think he needs to stop the bleeding. Like more like Ten Hag, shit managers for good clubs or big clubs have shown a propensity to stop the bleeding. when the noise is overcoming and it's getting a bit too much. And he's done it to a certain extent because they got a draw at Newcastle when it was bad, and they don't really get draws at Newcastle.
Yeah.
So I give him credit for that, but this one is another one where.
But also the way they got the draw.
Yeah.
But my point being there is that, like, in order to stop that bleeding, like, kind of draw on what you did at Brentford, and help some of these guys to be better than what they are putting out there on that pitch. And the other reason why I think Liverpool might be all right is because a lot of the accusation, I said this before, that maybe the jump from Brentford to Tottenham, and you said, like, it's not a good look if Tottenham are too big, and I agree with that, and it's not a good look, but maybe that jump is too big. Maybe for a lot of those managers that can be difficult, that can be a difficult one to kind of allow. The onus is on you to win every game. You're not the underdog. You're the big dog going into most of your games. The Liverpool one, he can be the underdog. He can be a Brentford. He can sit back. He can play on the counter attack. He can literally come with a Brentford type game plan. And it will probably
the spoils will be 10 times larger. Like, if he does get a win on Liverpool, how many times did Tottenham beat Liverpool? Right. Like, the spoils.
I can't remember the last time they beat Liverpool.
If you win, if you're Thomas Frank and you win, like, he's feeling the pressure, he's feeling the heat, big club, all this kind of stuff, all is on him. But you've got to relish these moments, because if you win, if you do beat Liverpool, it's silence, bro. And it's joy, and fans are starting to say, I see the vision, I see the signs. Well, we've beaten City, we've beaten Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, we had a good game at PSG, all this kind of stuff.
Whether it is or not, if you win that game, the fans can at least believe that it might be a turning point.
Exactly.
Regardless, it's irrelevant whether it is or not.
Yeah.
Right? They can believe that, well, we've seen something now,
Yeah.
But that's not to say that the Tottenham fans that do want Thomas Frank out, I don't think are wrong. Like, Thomas Frank has really not shown them anything.
I don't think that they're wrong. I just think that Tottenham fans are really funny. Like as I say, like,
the pragmatic managers.
Yeah, like, I get it. They're 12th, and maybe they should be in a better position. There's some money in the league table when performances and fixtures and results aren't, like, letting you dream. But if you get rid of Thomas Frank, like, where do you go? It's not that you can't get a better manager. It's just that you've had the defensive coach, you've had the attacking coach, you've had the pragmatic coach. You've got rid of all of them within 18 months. Yeah. What is next? What's the next game plan? Do we go back to defensive? Do we go back to offensive? Do we just get in another pragmatic guy? That's why I say it's a bit funny with Tottenham fans. Like, bare clubs, there's this whole dynamic. Jamie's writing articles about how Liverpool fan, no club is more special than Liverpool and their managers. And Man United fans will say the same thing. No one loves managers more than Man United. And Arsenal fans will, no one loves managers more than Arsenal. And it just seems as if Tottenham fans just don't. It's like they're Chelsea fans in disguise. It's like they just don't. It's like they just don't care about managers. Like, they'll just come, go, get rid of him. He sucks. He plays attacking football. That's awful. He plays defensive football. That's awful. He's pragmatic. That's awful. Go, get rid of him. Get someone else in. Get someone else in. Get someone else in. Get someone else in. Like, there's.
But at the same time, it's not, like, without reason.
It's not without reason. Almost. It's not that Thomas Frank.
Like, Chelsea fans that want Maresca sacked, I believe, are, like, without reason, because what that squad is capable of doing, Maresca has done
it. Yeah.
That squad is not capable of challenging for a title. Yeah. And maybe a better manager gets you closer. Yeah. But how much is that really, like, gonna matter? Thomas Frank should be doing better and should not have 22 losses, 17th place. The Tottenham fans can expect to be in and around Europa League places.
But then it's like, I hear you, but it comes down to what you want as a Tottenham fan. Like, you didn't want Ange because that project was going nowhere. Yeah. You didn't want Mourinho. Mourinho was a win now manager. Mourinho would have kept you in the top 6, whatever it was, but you got rid of him because that wasn't good enough. And
but that wasn't even Tottenham fans' decision.
I get it.
Daniel Levy's just sacked him before.
Mourinho would have kept you in the top 6 as a win now manager. Conte the same thing. Kept you in the top 6 as a win now manager. You got rid of him to get.
But again,
to get no, I hear it to get on some like clubs are going trendy, clubs are going with project managers, clubs are playing style of football, identity. So you're doing that now, and now if you get rid of Thomas Frank, who I think is a like young, can build an identity manager. If Thomas Frank goes to another club, if he's sacked within Tottenham, he'll go to another club and he'll build an identity there and do this whole sort of modern management thing.
What, another big club though?
Maybe not big club, but it could be anywhere in the middle. Could be like say Glasner moves on from Palace, he goes to Palace, he goes on to
yeah, I agree. I can see that.
Whoever, yeah.
But then but Tottenham fans will tell you, but that's the level.
I know, agreed.
A bit like what United fans might say about David Moyes.
So it's not necessarily about where the level is for Thomas Frank, but just so if you want to get rid of Thomas Frank as a young, modern manager because he isn't good enough, fine, fair. So you're done with that project. Is this to substitute with another young modern manager project? Probably. Or is this to substitute for a win now manager? No. Not even when I say win now for Tottenham, I mean win now like get us back into the top 6, top 4-ish, top 5-ish. Like we'll just remain in the top 5 because this manager's on some like win now 2-year contract. Allegri, just get me in the top 5. Or like that's what I'm saying. The Tottenham fans are funny. Like where do you go? Do you take out Thomas Frank to get in a Iriolo? He's not going to go to Tottenham, but like an Iriolo type manager, young and
just the name that I've heard from some Tottenham fans is Liam Rosenior at Strasbourg. That is.
I would rather
look. And I'm not saying that's what they should.
I'd rather stick with the Thomas Frank mission.
Agreed. Same. Yeah. And Thomas Frank has come out and said, but Thomas Frank is feeling the heat now because some of these comments. Yeah. Thomas Frank is coming out and saying that the club need to realize that this is going to take time and you can't just like keep moving on. And look, I agree. Look, Liam Rosenior, whatever he's doing at Strasbourg, I don't even really know. Yeah. But that is so Tottenham though. Yeah, like we'll get rid.
That's
of
what I said. Tottenham are funny.
Liam Rosenior, and then it might work. Liam Rosenior might finish this season in Europa League and then finish 14th.
Yeah, and that's right? What you want Tottenham fans.
But having said that, I do think that like. We're coming again from a bit of an unbiased point of view. If we were a Tottenham fan,
you'd want the manager.
Like Thomas Frank is not showing them
based off the performances. I agree. Like
100%. Like you say, a style of play that at the bare minimum, Ange had a way of like building up in possession, a way of scoring goals, a way of moving the ball forward. It's very much Kudus and Inshallah. And Nottingham Forest yesterday had 3 players on Kudus every time he got the ball. They had nothing.
I just feel as if Tottenham fans let us know you're ultimately the decider here in the comments. But if you're going to get rid of Thomas Frank, I'm cool with that if you go in an opposite direction. Like if you go and get a sort of more experienced, more hungry, more win now manager. And that, as I say, I just wouldn't get rid of the Thomas Frank project to go and get another Strasbourg manager project in, or to go and get
even an Iriolo.
Yeah,
I agree.
Is that
you may as well just stick it out.
Yeah, like it might take time with Frank, but you might get there with him.
But that's tough to hear.
Of course, these are business decisions.
Let's just
like you have to take.
We're losing every week.
I hear it. We're trying to be non-biased sort of GMs. Effectively, if I'm putting on like my Tottenham cap, and Tottenham fans don't want to hear it. As a Tottenham fan, we're losing games and we've got Liverpool next. If we lose against Liverpool, it's just dark. Mm-hmm. But get rid of Thomas Frank and you find yourself back in this manager pool, and this new manager's like, I don't have my players, and it gets long.
I mean, look, I think a good place to end this is to say that like Thomas Frank needs to give the Tottenham fans
some hope,
so that they can get with him.
Yeah, some hope.
Understand that
Liverpool is massive.
Thomas Frank, at this point where it is now, because the fans have had the belief in him and whatever, at this point now, Thomas Frank needs to show them something that gets them to believe in him.
I also want to say, to give Thomas Frank some hope, if he's listening, that like it's also not the end of the world getting sacked from Tottenham.
Yeah.
Conte
got sacked and won the league.
Yeah, Nuno got sacked and he had the best season he's ever had.
Yeah.
He had the best season he's ever had.
Yeah, like you say, if Glasner goes and he goes to Palace, who knows what Palace can be on? So yeah, look, tweet of the week.
I kind of gave it.
Yeah. I've gone for the Pep video when they ask him if he's happy, and he says more than you believe, and guys were saying that was Arsenal fans after the Wolves result. And I sent it to you, and I was like, Pep, I understand it now. Because if you were to ask me, am I happy after that Wolves game, I would give you the Pep more than you believe. I understand it now.
That's so goated, by the way. That Pep video is so goated.
Before I thought Pep was just being a waste man, but I understand it now.
But I did send it to you last. Paul George talking about how Philly fans were telling him he should have kept Tobias Harris. He's like, yo, all respect to TB, but damn. It's like
Paul George should have just told us he's taking a year out.
I felt that one.
Yeah. That was good. I
was also dying at your Shams tweet about Porzingis.
Let's not read that on here. I don't know what that is that he's got, but yeah. MVPs and rookies. MVP, I've got Regis Labrie and all of Sunderland football club. Massive one for the fans, everything. They would have enjoyed that. And then obviously we didn't cover the Liverpool game, but Hugo Ekitike, I'm gonna give an MVP because you've got my attention now. Unfortunately, you've got my attention now.
It's just better than Isak.
And you said in the summer about Ekitike. Well, not just that about Isak. You said in the summer that Ekitike looks a bit like a profile, whatever. How the French guys ended up there, but he's he's just gliding.
He's gliding through guys. Like he seems like the kind of guy as well. I'm
watching.
He seems like the kind of guy that obviously we were not clowning him, but like there was something to say about this poor stretch that he'd been on, 9 games or so. But I feel like he's the kind of guy where he's not the best coming off the bench or doing these little like moments things. Like just play him. And he'll have his up and his downs, but he'll find form through the minutes, through starts, through all this kind of stuff. I don't know if he's he can come off the bench and score a goal, but I don't know if that's his thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's his thing. He seems like a start me.
He's not a Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah. Start me. I'll come into it. I'll get guys involved. I'll get involved myself. I feel my way.
He scored what 30, 40 seconds or something.
Yeah, I feel my way into the game as opposed to like, I'll bring me off the bench left wing. I've got it. I'm just gonna score. You know,
agreed. And quickly on the flip side, rookie Alexander Isak. Hold that. You're the second best striker at your football club, and you're the Prem record transfer.
My MVP is Morgan Rogers.
Because
what we've been talking about with Eze and a couple of this other stuff, like Rogers is just proven to be the quality to get
Jude,
Villa,
Palmer. If Tuchel's watching,
he's just proven to be the quality to get Villa through the games that they need. And there wasn't much in it in that West Ham game. Honestly, West Ham deserved the point from that game. But Rodgers, I've got the quality. I'm going to decide the game. If you're going to leave me sort of send me the marks like that, I'll make you pay. So shout out to Rodgers for that for sure. I've got rookies like Vicario. Or Vicario has to get a rookie from me. I thought that first goal, like for me, that just sets the tempo. It sets the pace. It lets the fans know that we're not collecting 3 points today. Because
Archie Gray as well.
I've decided Archie Gray should be in there 100%. 100% Archie Gray should be in there. Isaka obviously should get an MVP.
100%.
To be honest,
Jesus.
Jesus MVP. The Demons home. Jesus time.
No, he's looking.
Jesus is also
like last time when he came back, he was a bit more. He's looking 22, 23.
He's also looking like. I expected Jesus to come and be on the like, almost farewell tour.
Yeah,
like almost like I'm happy to get my 5 minutes at the end and chase down.
Yeah.
But he's looking like
this looks like fire in the belly.
Yeah. He's looking like I want to make an impact.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off the pitch. I want to give the manager a reason to play me in the next game.
He's looking. I'm saying because we still need to see more. But he's looking faster than he looked when he came back from the last injury. He's looking more agile, and like I said, he's looking
it's balanced out. That's why it's balanced out.
Like, remember, if we go back and watch some of those Palace goals, like Jesus is, like, the top half of
sturdy.
Bro,
he's a sturdy guy.
He's like gone back a bit to the. Yeah,
I've also got to give an MVP to the NBA and the NBA officials, and I know what you did last night for LeBron. I saw that.
Oh yeah.
I peeped the game. They ejected Dylan Brooks on nonsense call. A LeBron fan. A LeBron fan is a nonsense call.
I saw LeBron just pinning the ref, just grabbing the ref.
Well, hey, big players, big stars, big calls. Adam Silver's made a call. Hey, got to keep these Lakers in it.
Yeah,
I don't want them getting too far, especially for the Phoenix Suns. I don't care about the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
So
we've sold a lot of tickets. A lot of people want to see LeBron.
Yeah. I respect. I shout out Wemby. Wemby
needed that.
And also shout out Dwayne Wade. I'm liking Dwayne Wade in commentary.
Okay.
I'm liking the little elite player who's done it all, won it all, getting in there with the commentary. He's got this like new school feel to him. He knows what the kids are down with and saying and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just appreciating hearing Dwayne Wade speak about hoops.
Cool. That's it.
All
right, look. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll be back next week after more Premier League football on the weekend. And fingers crossed, Arsenal are still top of the league. We'll see. But if you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments. Let us know your thoughts, especially if you're Tottenham fans, how you feel about Thomas Frank. And we'll catch you next week. Peace.